Abstract Square Podcast.
What up?
What's good?
Everybody in the building.
Yo, we here.
I need energy.
I got energy for you.
What up, T? You got energy?
Yo, it's popping over here.
It's popping?
You can't hear my energy?
Nah, because we don't have any alcohol today.
I'm turned up.
We are we dry today.
We dry. Lemonade lifestyle.
Yeah. Yo, I have something I want to share with y'all really quick.
Again?
Already. You stay with these stories in the beginning of the podcast.
That's how you get the energy out of me.
You got a bone to pick?
Nah,
Pick
yo,
bones.
and really quick, I want to be clear that my bone to pick with my guy Jesse wasn't because he was at a table with women. It was not it, because I heard that's the word on the streets. That, you was mad because he was at a table with women.
There's so many words on the street since the last episode.
Yeah, listeners, you got to go back to the last episode and hear the first 10 minutes. Well, actually 15 because Chad took that long to get the story out. But, yeah.
Anyway, yo, I haven't had a haircut in a month.
How you feel?
Yo, I'm considering growing my locks out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So are you starting a new business?
Why do I have to start a new business?
I mean, you don't have to. I'm just kind of messing with you.
What? Talk to me about this decision. I mean, it's
Yo, I'm thinking about it. We'll see.
yeah.
It's just I'm tired of my struggles with barbers.
This the struggles with the barbers.
Barber struggles are so real.
You can't get somebody to come to your house.
Nah, man, I can't. It's just I keep going through these barber struggles, man.
Barber struggles are so real.
Why is it? Why is it for you, Thomas?
I don't like when a barber cuts my hair and his fingers smell like Newports, weed, Hennessy, and he's fixing my
And
mustache.
Cheetos?
And he's fixing my mustache. I don't like barbers that, in the middle of my haircut, decide they need to take a nap. I don't like barbers. Wait, I'm not done. And these are real experiences. I don't like barbers that in the middle of their haircut start to beef with their baby mother in the middle of the haircut. All because she won $350 and she lives right upstairs and she don't got Cash App.
And he's slinging out the back.
I don't
Definitely.
Listen, I've gone to the point where instead of having like someone my age cut my hair, I've moved to a 60-year-old barber just because he's there at 7:30 a.m. and it aligns with my profession. I hate barbershop struggles.
It's a real struggle. But
B, you got the same struggles?
Nah, yo, I got the rooftop. I got the sunroof, so I don't really need a barber. I just hit the
took the
number
rooftop?
one. Yeah, I just hit the number one and get it down to a level that's even for everybody.
I used to do the same thing because I hated going to the barbershop. I used to just cut my own hair and then it just got to the point where I wasn't doing a good job.
Yeah.
So I needed.
But do you think if I decide to grow my locks out, that will hinder my chances of progressing in my career?
I don't think so at this point, personally.
Nope. I think your industry matters. I think if you were in, I would say one of the traditional corporate settings,
Yeah.
finance, consulting, whatever else you want to call it, engineering maybe, you might get looked at sideways.
Yeah.
I think we're in a traditional sort of industry as well. I don't think that advertising is outside of that or media.
No,
Yeah,
not at
but
all.
do y'all really understand what it's like to go through that growth phase with locks?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember me when I was growing them out originally?
I remember I had locks. I remember.
There's a
Yeah.
I call it the rough phase, like that in between, that right before you can get a ponytail. Because really, when you don't have the ponytail, it could look a little crazy for you.
I mean, but you might. I don't think you should.
it can, yo.
I just realized you really gonna be Chad the Abstract now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Q-tip.
I think you need to just let it rock. Like
Let it rock?
and get like the weekend dread, like
Nah,
the
I
one
can't do the weekend,
crazy.
Man, I can't do that.
Hey, yo, man, let's move past you looking nasty. 'Cause you look
Right.
nasty. Listen, for me, the in-between stage, I can't even grow a beard because I don't want the in-between on my face.
Wow. Well, you got to do it, but
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting segue, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think your industry matters, but also like are times changing now in the workplace? Is a lot of mix between culture and I was saying not even culture, but personal and work life. And, does that matter? I think one of the things that I was talking to the fellas about was this one article about WeWork. if you haven't heard, WeWork is now an all vegetarian company.
Pescatarian.
Is it pescatarian?
Yeah.
Okay, all
That's
pescatarian company,
I fuck with that.
You know, it kind of bridges the gap between people's personal lives and work, because I know I've been in different places where, you know, I'm two different people. I'm work B and I'm chef boy B after when I get out. I'm having fun. I'm living my life. I'm cooking. I'm doing whatever I want.
I'm so sick of that notion.
But it's time where you're seeing this one CEO bridge the gap to say, you know, my employees abide by these rules, and it's not even in the office, but
yes, master.
You know what I'm saying? Expenses, exactly. Expenses. You're not going to get expense for meat. None of that. How do y'all feel about that?
Well, for me, I don't eat beef or pork. So I've been in a lot of settings where when it's pizza day, it's nothing but pepperoni pizza. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm like, yo, I can't eat none of this shit. And they're like, Chad, why aren't you eating? Yo, because you...
And you're judged at that moment.
Yeah, I'm judged. And the immediate response is it religious? You know, it's like, why every time
dreads come out?
Why is it every time someone that makes the decision that they don't eat beef or pork is religious? You know, so it's like, no, I just don't eat that shit.
How do you feel about WeWork taking this stance?
I think that's dope. Yeah, they're looking out for your well-being. For a company to think about your health, right? And then and I know for a fact WeWork has great health benefits. So on top of that, great health benefits, and they're culturally watching out for your health. That's official.
So not only are they watching out for, so I disagree with it, but I'll go to the positive parts of it for me. So not only are they looking out for your personal health benefits or your well-being, your personal well-being, they're also looking out for the environment. So the idea for them to take this stance is really to decrease the carbon footprint.
Yep.
Now, how do we really feel about that? Like, coming from an educated place on the subject, there's a lot of like left and right as to whether or not they can actually accomplish that by telling you what you can eat and what you can't eat. Is that fair?
Nah, it's fair, but I also think it's crossing the line of, you know, and I kind of disagree with what you say, Chad. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do and reduce it, but don't tell me what the fuck to do with my life.
Well, they're not telling you what to do. Yeah. They're like really, really recommending it.
Okay. Right. All right.
Yeah, you can eat it. Just you can't eat it in the office.
No, you can eat it in the office. The problem is I'm not paying for it.
No, you can't eat it in the office. The only way you can is if there's some religious belief behind it.
Oh, I thought the stance was
you can't.
No, you can't.
You can't eat it at all in the office.
Wow.
They will not expense it. You cannot do any of that.
So you're telling me what to do with my eating?
That's even worse.
The shit they telling you to come to work. What's the difference?
You're right.
No, they're not telling you to come to work.
Yes, they are. You want this check, come to work. You want this check, you better leave that beef at that crib. Like,
nah, they're recommending that you come to work because you can go elsewhere.
You can go elsewhere and eat your beef.
So is that the thing? Now, say you get caught with with some Shake Shack at the crib.
I got caught with a burger. Desk, that sounds crazy.
Right. It sounds crazy, but is that grounds for dismissal? I mean, it could be. But how hard are they enforcing these rules? You know, like...
That's a great question. I mean, if you worked at WeWork, what would you do?
I mean, we got to go back to, I think the CEO is flexing. I think he's, of course, covering up narcissism with trying to, I guess, reduce a carbon footprint. It's saying, I did this.
Yeah.
I kind of like made a company or made a shift in corporate America or whatever you want to call it, to not eat meat or take a step in the right direction. I think it's a flex play. Just like Spotify said, I'm not playing R. Kelly anymore. I feel like it's a more PR play than
and also to qualify who WeWork is, right? Like they're huge. Like they're like Uber-esque as far as like their what do you call that? Like a they're beyond like they're like one of the bigger startup companies that are out there. So,
almost like a franchise.
They're a huge startup. They're beyond. I'm sorry. They're a huge company. So like this is not just like a one-time small thing that affects just a few people. This affects a lot of companies, a lot of people. This is a really big undertaking.
For me, if I own a company, I'm not serving beef or pork in the like.
How is that any different than them only giving pepperoni on the pizza?
It is different.
It's not different.
Why? Everyone doesn't eat beef or pork. So what's the difference?
The difference is someone says, hey, I'm only serving pepperoni on pizza, or someone says I'm only serving vegetarian options. They're the same thing.
But we know everyone eats a vegetable.
We don't know that.
Who doesn't eat a vegetable?
We don't know that.
Yo, my coworkers tell me the other day her husband's friend only has a meat and starch diet. He doesn't eat vegetables. He don't like them.
People on that keto diet.
Yeah, I would say people are.
Man, they better get the fuck out of here with that keto diet.
People are. That's a dietary thing for some people. Some people are eating high in fat, low in carb diets, and that's how they're like changing their lifestyle. So I don't think that's fair for someone to tell you what you should be able to eat.
I mean, is this stuff? Is this stuff? I mean, you've been in corporate America. Are there things that you changed about your life, that you wanted to, kind of fit in for, or adapt to?
Enough already. Like so many things that we change every day to fit into these businesses. Now I have to like make a decision to be honest, I would fall in line because I think that's a cool thing to do. Mm-hmm. But I would feel like, who the hell are you to tell me what I can and cannot eat? I'd be fine with it, but
yeah. I mean, up until recently, we were all told what to wear to work at some point.
Yeah.
Right? So what's the difference?
The difference is that it doesn't happen anymore.
Right. And I think
it does in some settings. We got friends that got to put a suit on.
Yeah, we do.
That's true.
So what is the real difference? Like, would you rather put on a suit and eat beef and pork all day, or would you rather dress like this and eat vegetarian options?
Yeah, but then WeWork is even more. So, are they saying that if you work for WeWork, this is the only thing, or if you are in a WeWork?
That's what I'm not clear on. Like, is it like the company that's renting out the space? Do they have to also abide by not eating meat, or is it the actual employees who are putting the work in?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer to that.
I mean, because that would be. It sounds like I would assume that it's only the employees of WeWork, and that's not a lot of people per like unit.
Yo, could you imagine that if you're renting out a space and you got beef options for lunch?
You got chicken wings coming. you got chicken wings. You got Wingstop coming through.
And a coworker, a WeWork worker is like, yo, that smells really good, man. But unfortunately, I'm not allowed to eat it.
I gotta throw it out, bro. Like,
you know what?
I gotta throw it out, bro.
Boy, if you don't get the fuck out of here.
I got Shake Shack. The price goes up. Right. $7.21 is now $14.42.
You got
catch that math ring.
You and WeWork hustling Shake Shack. Right. Come to the bathroom. I got this burger for you.
But I mean, that's a great question. So as y'all get through your careers, do you look for places that allow the workplace lifestyle to match your personal lifestyle?
It's impossible.
More and more. I know it's impossible, but match it and get closer, right? I mean, I personally do look for things like that now, where I can be myself and say the things and wear the things that I want to wear. Because I feel like I excel better when I don't have to be two different versions of myself.
I've come to grips that I'll never find that company. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. I mean, my true self is, I've told y'all this before. I think episode 1, I'll let y'all know. I feel as if I don't even know who my true self is anymore because I've already...
You so lost?
I'm completely lost because I don't know. Listen, I've changed the way I dress because it doesn't make sense to have a wardrobe full of things that you can't wear to work. Right?
You can't wear the do-rag to work?
I can't wear my silky to work. You know what I mean?
Thomas had to give away his pink Air Forces, man.
Listen.
And he really does have a pair of pink Air Forces.
And blazers. But the whole idea is that I don't think that's even possible. At least not in our community. I don't think that you can be your complete self when it's dominated by everyone else. Perfect example, yesterday we went out, right? We went out to 212 NYC, big advertising festivals, like a beach party. And after I leave the office, the woman asked me, and she goes, or the next morning, she goes, I kind of feel like you really enjoyed that music yesterday. Now, there's 1,000 people. There's no seats. You're not sitting next to me. There's Redman and Method Man performing. And there's no way that she even saw me. I didn't see her. She just made the assumption that I liked it because it was like 90s rap. First of all, you just judge my age.
Go old hat.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Tikal.
Right.
But I don't think you can ever be yourself.
I would have tried to fuck her head up, like, who was that on stage?
Yeah.
I told you what I told one of the dudes. I told him I'll cut your eyelids off and feed you nothing but sleeping pills, and walked away.
Did you drink a lot last night?
Nah, not when I made that statement.
Oh, I was like, yo, that's wild.
He was a younger kid. He was, resident.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, Chad.
I was going to, for me, yes, I look for opportunities that align with the values that I try to, behold, right? So I think when I look at the places that I'm interested in working, it's like, do I align with the product and the values?
And what kind of values is it? I mean, is it around family? Is it around eating meat or not eating meat? Is it around being able to grow your hair out and wear, your fancy footwear collection? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it all of that?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of work-life balance.
Doesn't exist.
I'm a family man right now, so if you expect me to be in the office at 8 o'clock, not going to happen. Happy to take the work home. I still do that to this day. But if you need to see me in the office to show my impact, I'm not the right person for you. I've actually turned down opportunities like that at some small startups because they, when someone tells you, yo, we're in a startup environment, that is code word for we're going to be here all fucking night.
All night long.
That listeners, trust me. Think about any time you've interviewed somewhere and they say we're in growth phase, startup phase.
That means you coding, you doing accounting,
and you might die.
You taking out the trash.
They expect you in at 8 o'clock and they expect you out of there at 9.
We talked about that. That means the company might die tomorrow. So you know what? If you're ready for to approach death every day, go for it.
Yeah, it's almost like when you dating and you like,
I'm in the rebuilding phase.
Yeah.
Get my shit
we working things out.
Yeah, we working things out. That's essentially what they tell you. But I look for those things like your products, right? Like, do I believe in your products in order for me to, like, could you imagine somebody that's at Papa John's today? Fuck out of here. Coca-Cola, brands crazy. Like that. Yo, those are the things I look for is like, one, do I see any diversity? Do I have the ability to make an impact? Those are the things that I look for. So,
You're starting to see a bigger trend now of people forcing this health thing on us. I know that other article we was talking about was straws. In case y'all haven't noticed, there's a big ban going on plastic straws. Starbucks recently said, "Yo, we're not giving you drinks with plastic straws. We're gonna give you sippy cup lids." Disney, other companies is going, really hard on this plastic straw tip.
Yeah. Feel like
I don't know how I feel about that.
I feel like I appreciate the effort, right? I'm into those things. I try to be cognizant of the products, my waste. Like, it's so funny that we're talking about this because when I take the trash out at night, I do notice my trash as it relates to others in my neighborhood.
Oh, you look at your little personal footprint. How cute.
So I do. I look at the trash. I'm like, wait, why does my neighbor have twice as much trash than I do? Because, one, I think in our household we eat fairly healthy. So there's not a lot of waste. We don't drink a lot of sodas and shit like that. I have a...
So you, as a homeowner and, head of the household, no disrespect to Danny.
But fam, I'm the head of the household.
But it's one of those things that you...
There's a head and there's a neck. I believe in that.
Shut up, yo.
But I think it's what I'm hearing is that you definitely about really teaching that healthy lifestyle and being aware and conscious of it. Were your parents like that? Did that happen growing up? Like, is that something that was you remember?
Nah,
not mine. I mean, we recycle because the neighborhood
That's the law.
did it.
Yeah, it's the law.
That's the law.
Exactly, but I mean, recycle. Just doing those other things like.
Nah, I think that's just something. Just being an adult, I've been consciously aware of.
Yeah.
And not to mention, like, let's be honest here. I'm all about, being healthy, but it's pretty trendy. Like, a lot of things are happening.
Definitely
and it's just like,
trendy.
I mean, you're not going to, like, sit here and just tell me, like, charcoal water and, like, tell me that it tastes good. Like, it's just, I mean, I get the health benefits and I'm going to read about it. I want to understand. I want to be educated. But a lot of it is being sold more than it's being, like, for your benefit.
Yeah, because Thomas definitely had boxed water the other day.
Yeah.
And when I asked him how did it taste,
like box.
He said it tastes like box.
Quotables.
Yo. I was like, thank you for the descriptive unboxed
water. Because, it's just brand, right? They just kind of force this. It looks different, right? So you buy it. Okay, did that. Now, when someone brings over rose water with activated charcoal for $8.99,
is that a real thing?
It is
definitely the thing.
Rose water with charcoal is a real
activated
thing?
charcoal. Yeah,
activated charcoal.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that really mean?
What it means is it's cleaning your insides, supposedly, right?
Water in general cleans your insides.
I know, but the point is, they selling it to you, and
that's the bullshit. Sorry, but we drink fucking alcohol often enough, all day and juice all day, and you have 1 cup of water. That fucking charcoal activated water is not going to cleanse you. No. Right. You need to drink water all fucking day.
Right. I mean, I would, and I don't know this is a fact because I'm not a nutritionist, but I would venture to say that if you do it enough, it's probably is helpful.
So they want you to spend $8.99 5 times a day.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah,
and that's what's going on.
They bugging.
That's what's going on out in these streets.
You got it. I don't.
But that's the part that I don't like about
the vendors got it.
Exactly. That's the part I don't like about the healthy lifestyles, that you got to pay for it, right? I mean, or the perception is you got to pay for it. Not that you have to, but that's the part.
You kind of got to pay for it,
but
right?
You can grow it.
Especially where we live, right? We live in the tri-state area. You have to pay for it.
I think that's a disconnect. I think that if you decided to build a garden in your backyard, then you wouldn't be paying for it.
No, because if you have cabbage or lettuce in your backyard, you know how much you'd have to grow to consume. I mean, how much you'd have to grow in order to consume and then replace for you to eat it on a weekly basis?
I don't.
A lot.
Right. I'm just saying there are options, right? Like there are ways to.
So I'm
not going to say you're going to make activated charcoal water.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to have a fairly nice sized yard in order for that to happen. Yeah. And we don't.
You gotta have a yard, period.
Yeah, you have to have a yard, period. So
or a rooftop, because that's where a lot of gardens are.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, but we don't have.
Nah, we don't have none of that.
So we all go to grocery stores, Whole Foods, or the likes, right? And there's a section that says organic, and there's a section that doesn't say organic. You can spend 99
What does it actually say?
What's the difference, though?
There's a big
how it's being grown.
Okay.
But what does it actually say? I did that the other day. I made a conscious decision. So first of all, my household is just upgraded. Thank you guys. I want you to clap for me into being able to push a cart through Whole Foods. Because there was at one point in my life where we just like walked through and picked up little things here and there. Oh. But now we can like.
Tom was out here fronting because at his pool party he had Whole Foods delivered to his crib. Son, don't be out here fronting.
We upgraded a little bit. But I made a conscious decision to not buy organic rotisserie the other day. And
buy it?
Yeah,
bugging.
Because I'm frugal and it's like $3 more. And I was like, you know what? She gonna be happy when I come back with the $7.99 chicken instead of $11.99 chicken. And then she's like, nah, why didn't you get the organic? It was only $4 more.
All right, next time you're in a grocery store, I want you to go to the produce section and I want you to look at the organic apples versus the apples that are not.
The size
and the color. If you notice, the non-organic apples are shiny. And the ones that are organic are not shiny.
Fresh out the mud.
There's no gloss to them.
Like me, organic, fresh out the mud.
Yeah, so they're spraying all these chemicals on them, on the apples and all the other fruits. Some of them, like you'll notice, like what the fuck is a seedless watermelon?
Right.
Like how the fuck do you extract seeds from a watermelon? Why would you eat that shit?
Shout out to everybody eating pluots.
Right. But I think that's the crazy part is that, that's where you got to pay for it, right? To be healthy and to not die and not to have your insides rot. Like that's where you got to pay for the health. And I think it goes back to our hoods where you only got fast food. You don't have access to that. Like, I think that's the part where you got to pay for it. And that's the part that needs to change.
Yo, because what's interesting, and because Danny and I, we've always talked about potentially opening up a juice bar.
Come on, plug talk.
In our community, right? And the biggest question that we struggle with is, will they even pay for it?
Yes. Probably not.
I would say yes.
All right.
It really depends on the demo.
All right. Brian, tell me why you think they will, and then Thomas, you tell me why you don't think they will.
I think that, one, if you build it, they will come. Two, there's got to be a cultural shift, and there's got to be teaching on behalf of our community on what's healthy and what's not. If you teach the right way, if you message the right way, I feel like people will start to buy in and come in and use that. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's not like we all eat fast food and all that stuff. There's a subset that's very healthy that grew up healthy. I think that people would. It might be a slow.
So if I'm charging $6.99 a medium size veggie juice, and I'm in the hood. You think they're gonna pay for it?
Now when the hood is usually making like $10, $11, $12 an hour, like that's half of the money they made for the whole hour.
Nah. I mean, that's a real tough question. And
yeah, you see, we struggle with that, right? Because we feel like that's where it's needed. But
I've seen it. So you can build a business like that with the expectation that you're not going to make money really, really soon because you're going to be building everything around it to make sure that it's something that someone will consume. I've seen it in my old neighborhood where I was happy that they built a juice bar, but I also knew it would only last for 3 months.
Yeah.
Did you have the perception of they were building this juice bar not for us, but for the gentrification that was happening?
Not at all, because there was no gentrification happening at that time. So I was probably one of the rare people in the neighborhood that was educated enough to patronize it.
Yeah.
But I just knew that McDonald's was going to win over the juice bar
All
every
day.
time when they were literally across the street from each other. Shout out to Suffolk and Linden.
Yeah, so I mean, it's something that we struggle with still because we want to be able to give back, but how do we give back if they're not going to give to us in our communities?
I mean, I think it's something you got to do. It's the vision, right? It's the mindset. Some little 4 or 5 year old may walk by and say, "Oh, that's juice," instead of looking at the McDonald's. You may make him or her think about it, and that might change his mindset. I understand that's money at your pockets that you don't have, but I also think it's about the presence there to show that you can do that. That's the part that I want to start changing is the mindset,
I think we're changing it though, because I can speak to Chad's daughter, I can speak to my niece, my nephew at this point. They know the difference. They're like, I don't want that. I want the Whole Foods watermelon because it tastes that much better. Like, I want the organic watermelon.
Yeah. And we're struggling with that right now because she's been asking for a Happy Meal. We're like, yo, we've never given you McDonald's before. She's seeing it on commercials.
It's the programming.
Yeah, it's the programming.
And she got friends at school too.
And she got friends at school that talk about McDonald's. We're like, we've never given you McDonald's. We've given you Chick-fil-A. We've given you Panera Bread, but we've never taken you to McDonald's. So where is this coming from?
Where's it coming from? It's coming from YouTube. And if that was my account, I'd be targeting your daughter all day. It just makes sense. She's the demo.
And I'm concerned because it's like, if I don't give her McDonald's, will that be something? Because you know how growing up, something that we didn't have, now we want it. For me, it was sneakers. I didn't get a lot of sneakers growing up, so now I'm like, boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. I've slowed down a lot, but now it's like I have the ability to go buy it on my own. I don't want her to say, now I have some money, I'm going straight to McDonald's because my parents didn't give it to me growing up.
Shout out to that freshman 15 though.
I think you just show one good documentary.
Yeah.
It's education at the end of the day.
I agree with you, Tommy, on that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm going to have to. Because I'm like, yo, I can't. Like, I've kept you away this long. Why are you asking about it now?
My nephew wanted a hot dog recently. He just kept asking about a hot dog. So I showed him how they make hot dogs. Ooh, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. It's almost like when you got that first taste of alcohol when you were underage.
I never had that experience.
You never had alcohol as
my
a
first
minor?
drink of alcohol was on my 21st birthday.
Nah, my West Indian ways, yo. 11, 12. I mean, it wasn't like I was throwing back Heinekens, but, my uncles, my dad, they was like, yo, taste this. Understand what it is. Like, you know this is alcohol. And they taught me about it. Right. And I knew. And by the time I was old enough to drink, like, I had already had that experience and I knew what it was. So, I mean, I have an example where that served me,
Yeah.
That education served me well.
I think actually I had a similar experience where like my grandfather gave me like a Budweiser and I was like, it is disgusting. So I never went back.
Yeah, my brother gave me a 40.
Yo.
Like 12. And I thought it was the most disgustingest thing ever.
Yo, if we went through your childhood and really pulled things out, you are not supposed to be this man you are. This is crazy.
Yo, a 40?
Yeah. It was so disgusting. It was so disgusting.
I probably had like maybe 2 in my entire life.
I've never even held one.
Actually, that was the only time I've ever had a 40.
Life, yo.
And I took a sip and I wanted to puke.
Nah, the marketing behind it is makes me disgusted. Like just the idea of like Mad Dog 2020 or like any like Cisco and like all
Mad Dog, all that, yeah.
All that stuff. I'm good.
You know what it is.
Look like a bunch of fiends around.
Yeah, I mean, so as a community, how do we compete against? If I set my juice bar up next to a McDonald's, they're serving a complete meal for $8.99, and here I am serving a bottle of juice. Like, how do you really compete with?
It's happening, right? So when my friends used to live in Parkchester in the Bronx, that's where Styles P juice bar was, right?
Yeah, Juices for Life.
Juices for Life. I forget the name of it. And they had a lot of patrons in there. They hired the neighborhood, but they were able to do that, in my opinion, uniquely because they were able to educate through media, right? Mm-hmm. So people are coming from all over to come to Parkchester, to go to the Brooklyn, to the other location, to actually get that juice. So it's not the neighborhood, because the neighborhood probably can't afford it, to be honest.
Yeah, but do you think they're buying that juice because they know it's owned by Styles? And
I think that's like, I think he made it cool on top of the education. Like, one of the things that he said that really sticks with me is there's nothing more gangster than survival.
Right.
I never forget that he said that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that resonated with a whole bunch of other people that live in that neighborhood. Like, you know what? I'm not soft for wanting a shot of bark.
Right.
I'm actually a little tougher than you because, like, I can run for 3 miles now. Not just because of the bark, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, regular old Chad who's coming to my juice bar in the hood.
I'm pulling up.
Yeah, I'm going to be up there. And it's the education part. Like Tommy said, I feel like there's a young gunner coming up in the set that looks just like you, that want to, be just like you.
It's our children.
And, they got to see it. If they only see Ronald out there on the block, like, that's all they know. But if they see Chadio, with the little juice samples in the apron outside pushing,
right. It's a tough
Chad with juice.
It's like a tough balance because you want to be able to make the prices affordable for the neighborhood, but also be profitable where you can sustain a business. Like, that balance I'm struggling with, because there's no way you're going to be able to sell juice for $4.
Can you make it mobile though? Have y'all thought about it instead of having?
Man, you can't sell juice for $4 when I can go buy a chopped cheese for $5.
You see what I'm saying?
It's just not a real thing. Like, I want to be all thoughtful and all of that kind of thing, but like, just be honest here. Like,
even if I'm trying to promote it to the youth, he's got $10 in his pocket.
Right.
The math ain't adding up.
It ain't adding up
until it's cool. And it's just it's cool for our demo.
Even if it is cool, that kid is looking at, I could have a sweet tooth of candy, or I can drink this shit that's gonna make me go to the bathroom in 2 hours.
I mean, I can bring it back to back in the days, like when we used to. The regular dollar soda used to look cool, but the 50-cent soda, you look crazy walking around the streets like
that little can.
Yeah.
So you made a decision to spend 100% more,
right? Because
you were educated on what's going to happen to you if you continue to drink these 50-cent sodas. And back in the day, it was like, you can't have no kids if you keep drinking Tropical Fantasy. Whether that was the right education or not,
it worked.
The education is what kind of changed.
It worked, but I mean, I think that you got to understand what you're pumping out there. Just like juice press is an example, right? Like, you walk in there and they define that as a meal, right? You can replace that as a meal, and of course it's the same price, $11, $12, whether you're hungry or not. I mean, I've done it before, and maybe I believe the hype. Mm-hmm. I didn't need to eat after that. But if you educate that and show them that, you don't need those fries.
I had a Soylent the other day for the first time.
You had a what?
Soylent, the meal replacement, the little thing.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It tastes good. Felt good. I was full.
Right.
My body felt horrible the next 2 days. I looked at the ingredients, and the ingredients were a little bit more off than I would expect. Like, it wasn't, it seems like you're going to get like all natural stuff, and it's more like a science project than it is truly like whole foods. And I just didn't feel good.
Nah, we don't eat that.
And I've read a lot of reviews, and a lot of folks were just like, nah, like, I don't want to, be too descriptive, but like, it just didn't work well with their like
brat. I had I'm really fucking with these Beyond Meat burgers though.
They're really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I had one at Bear Burger the other day. It was so good.
Wait, they're at Bear Burger?
Yeah, they have both. They have the Beyond. What are we talking about right now? They have the Bear Burger, and they have the other one. What's the other one that's made out of shout out to Lovey. What is this thing? I forgot. They have the other one too.
Oh, okay.
All right. Listeners who don't know, Chad, you want to fill them in on what a Beyond Burger or Beyond Meat is?
Yeah, it's a veggie based burger, right? I've only been able to see it in Whole Foods. It is like $5.99 for 2 patties.
Sheesh. But it's good though.
It's official.
So it tastes like meat. Does it?
It tastes. I mean, I haven't had beef in almost 10 years, right? But it doesn't taste like a veggie burger. Mm-hmm. It tastes like you're eating meat, like red meat. So for me, it was good, man. I've been grilling it up all summer.
Yeah, no, those are really. I forget the other one. The other one is made out of just potatoes, which is super interesting to me because women have this thing where they're like fully averse to eating carbs. Have you noticed that?
Yep.
Which is complete programming, I think. It's a whole nother conversation. And they won't eat that burger because it's all made out of potatoes. Man. But would you rather have a potato or like a piece of a cow?
I'd rather have a potato.
Right.
Yeah.
Programming is a hell of a drug.
Yeah. I don't know, but fuck out of here with that keto diet.
Not working.
Nah, that's kind of nasty. Like, so it works, right? So by adding more fat, it helps you to like burn more fat. But like, it's quiet for me eating a stick of butter in my coffee.
No, you're good.
That's like just not healthy.
That sounds like some other programming shit.
Yeah, right? It is.
Just drink a lot of water. I got a friend in the pharmaceutical industry, and he walks around with water all the time. Think about it. He's in the pharmaceutical industry and walks around with water all the time.
I mean, it's kind of simple science. Your body is mostly water.
Right. Like, he's like flat out. He's like, yo, I don't drink nothing else but water. When I celebrate, I drink alcohol, but I drink nothing. And literally every time I see him, he's got a jug of water.
It's crazy. I started cutting soda and water out of my diet because I just didn't want to buy it back in college. Like, it was another expense, and I had the Brita. The Brita was there.
Yeah.
And after a while, I just kept cutting it out and cutting it out and cutting it out.
That
Never
Brita
bought
does
it.
not work in Jersey. I bought a Brita.
Yeah.
That water is so nasty still. Even with the Brita, it's disgusting.
The water does taste different in Jersey.
It's so bad.
It does taste different.
Depends on where you at.
That New York water is fresh.
Yeah, it is.
Man, nothing touches New York water. Yo, you know they ship New York water to other cities.
Nah, I didn't know that.
No, they do. Actually, when they make bagels, they will import New York water to make a New York bagel.
That's like a thing, bro. Like in Florida.
I know they shipped it. Oh, yo, Florida needs all the help they can get, yo.
Florida
water is so trash,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Florida water is super trash.
Usually when I'm in Florida, I'm not drinking any water, to be honest.
You can taste it. You can taste it.
The water's brown that I'm drinking.
Listeners,
I'm in Florida.
I don't care if you're from Florida. Like, your water is trash, yo.
Your water is trash.
Your water is trash.
Nah, Florida water can't be worse than Jersey water. Jersey water tastes like bad breath.
You know what? Do you remember? Yeah, nah, not at all.
Be gonna talk about your state
don't talk about my state like that. But you don't remember going to Atlanta and in school for the first time and drinking the tap water, or going to a restaurant and drinking water and tasting that difference? You don't remember that?
Nope.
My mouth was mad dry.
I was say I had a simple palate. Like, I don't. But that Jersey? Ugh.
Ugh.
We do keep we do have a filtration system in our house.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
Damn, the Brita gotta work, yo. Stop.
Yo, you can have mine because I ain't using it anymore.
Yo.
This is all bottles from my house.
Nah, man, but what else is going on, yo? What's popping?
These stupid people.
What does that mean?
I'm just really trying to I can't get over the fact that I've come to grips with the idea of I'll never fit in any large company unless it's run by us. Like, I don't see it ever happening.
So you really mad at what happened? You really mad at her talking about your experience?
I was actually mad at the fact that there were 1,000 people and I counted like 10 that look like me and like 5 that I might have a conversation with. And I'm gonna say it frustrated me. It just gave me an understanding that we have so much more room to grow and how much better like the industry could be if it had some flavor to it.
Man, you know what's so funny? I was talking to Jessica, who's on the show, the other day, and I told her, I was like, I feel a little lonely. I don't know.
At work?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Yo, if it wasn't for him these days,
I feel a little lonely.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Like,
I can understand
Brian,
that.
I've been to your office.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Like, it hit me like, oh shit.
But see, I'm a different when I'm in that arena. Like, I'm not about feelings. I'm not about wanting companionship. I'm about getting this check and understanding and absorbing everything. Now, don't get me wrong. I do, on the downtime, every once in a while, I want to laugh and chop it up with somebody that knows what I'm talking about. But that's rare.
I don't want to laugh either, but I have to strategically laugh, and I'm sick of strategically having to laugh.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing worse than a fake laugh, yo.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of it.
It's so funny because, actually, I brought it up again today during lunch, and with someone who doesn't work at the company, she's like, "Is it because you're not talking to black people?"
It's not even that.
I was like, "No, it's not. It's not a color thing. It's like there's just no one there that I can relate to.
Right.
Like there's no one that I can look at and say, yo, this person looks like me, has the same interest as I do.
Yeah.
Like, and we can like not talk about work." And relate on something on another level. On something.
Like, I don't know any album that you care about just came out. Like, I have no clue. Like, and I don't want to hear you talk about Cardi B anymore. Because you're, like, this is one girl that talks about, I hope they don't listen to this, that talks about Cardi B, like, every other day. And it makes me so upset because she's not enjoying, like, the musicality, if there is such a thing when it relates to her. She's legitimately, like, watching or enjoying the comedy behind this artist. And it just really frustrates me.
That's whack. Yeah. I mean, I'll say that I do have people who relate to certain things. I'm talking about media, film, certain, pieces of music in the area that I can talk to, but I got to find it in bits and pieces throughout the office. And I'm okay with that because it's not forever.
You know what's odd, too? I don't want to expand my palette. Like, I'm happy being me to the point where I am, and I don't want to learn about things that I just have like totally written off as anything that I want to care about. I'm too old for it at this point.
There's a difference in learning about Taylor Swift. I think there's a difference in learning.
I just don't care about it anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's just you being old man Tommy.
No, it is to a certain extent. But like you're about to say, like I don't really want to learn about Taylor Swift, right? But if there's something like educational and something that's going to be a little bit more just expanding me culturally, like yeah. But just stuff that I just don't want to hear. Like I don't want you to like try to sell it to me.
Yeah, and I think that's the part that sometimes I'm not willing to do is get past the Taylor Swift surface to get down to the real shit that I could actually learn. You know what I'm saying? And there might not be anything beneath that, but maybe I do want to know about the Ozarks and what it's like to vacation out there and
that kind of stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But I got to get through the Taylor Swift bullshit,
to get there.
To get there.
It's like beer, right? Like I don't drink beer because you know what's funny? Beer is not like culturally been like a thing that we do, right?
No.
But I'm kind of interested to a certain extent about like beer the way someone understands like wines.
Yeah.
But that's probably like the last thing that I actually want to like learn that is outside of my culture. Like I'm kind of over you trying to tell me about Taylor Swift. I don't really give two shits.
At work.
No, I don't. I really don't.
Yeah. But you know what the crazy part is that I think you need that to survive, right?
And I don't want it no more.
You don't want to survive?
I want to survive, but not at the expense of my sanity. Like I'm over it.
You need that interaction. Like sooner or later, it's going to be a wrap.
It's unfair.
You know what it is? It's a balance, right? Like you kind of need that interaction just to be in the know.
I'm sick of having to have this duality that we were trained to have. I just want to be me.
But you don't know who you are. You said you were lost.
Nah, touche. But the point is,
you said you were lost.
Because what I said was what I said.
The point is, and I've lost a little bit of me because I had to balance this duality for so long. I had to be corporate Thomas and then go back to wherever I want to, my neighborhood and be the original Thomas, right? And in that like balance, you lose a little bit of yourself because you're more corporate than you are your original self because you spend more time working.
You don't think you just matured?
No, I don't.
I think you matured. I think you learn things. You learn how to adapt. You learn how to move and shake and understand that to get things done, you might have to be that different person.
It's a game.
No,
you're playing the game.
But not everyone plays that game. Yeah. We only play that game.
That's unfortunately that's how it is.
But what I'm telling you is that it's not going to change, right?
Look at all your successful friends who've made it to a really great spot in their career.
I get what you're saying.
They've all played that game.
I get what you're saying, but you're looking at it from a very surface level. I'm taking it past what we've been trained to do and saying, hey, if I had it in a perfect world, I would just be me. We have this like mantra in the office that's like, be your authentic self. And I look around like, for real?
If y'all really want to, if like, y'all really knew.
Yeah. I can't. It's not a real thing. And it's while I sound really frustrated now, I'm going to go in and be jolly and, speak in the King's English when I go to work tomorrow. But, like, I'm very cognizant that I had to make a lot of changes to afford some of the things that we have.
And I need you to, go to work with your chain out tomorrow.
Yeah. Supreme Tea. Supreme Tea in the building.
Thomas, I want you to go to work with your chain out and your Jordans on tomorrow.
I'll never do it. But do I want to? Like, absolutely.
Nah, I think you need to
let's talk about that. Quick. Why won't you do that? That's a good question. I want to know why.
Because we've been
wait, you just said it was Brian, you said it was cool for me to grow my locks out, right? But not you, Thomas.
No, I didn't say that. I said it's cool that you feel comfortable doing that.
It's cool that you feel comfortable doing
I feel comfortable.
That's my point.
Brian, do you not agree that I should grow my locks out?
No, I agree that you should.
I think that it may possibly limit some opportunities. Where we are now, you'll be fine. You're already there. It is what it is. Now, when you talk about, continuing to climb the corporate ladder, it may hinder you. I'm not saying it will, absolutely, but it may.
So do you think women with locks have the same challenge?
I think women have a challenge, period.
Yeah.
With hair?
Yeah. I think women with natural hair, period.
Let's change it. Women that don't have hair probably have more of an issue.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Women with no hair have more challenges.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say that blanket statement, but I will say once you go against tradition, you're going to have more challenges.
The perception of a short Caesar haircut, natural hair, anything projects that angry black woman. Not to say that
I don't like that.
I mean,
I know you don't like it. That's
but
the perception.
This is the whole thing about this whole duality thing, right? Like, I don't really need you to care. I think you should cut your hair if you want to cut your hair, woman, right? But you have to balance,
woman.
But it's unfair that you have to balance, like, what, or for you, Chad, it's unfair that you have to think about this
right.
whole
The
thing.
fact that you're even thinking about
That's the duality that I'm sick of. I'm sick of having to worry about who I am as I move around.
Yeah. I mean, it was a huge concern for me going into the corporate setting with tattoos. Like, for the first 6 months, I didn't even wear shorts.
Yeah, but we saw the V-necks pop out. We saw the V-necks pop out after 6 months, though.
I remember when Chad said, you know what, I'm going to get this tattoo, and that's going to force me to never work for nobody again.
I respect it.
Do you remember making that statement?
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Nah, but you know what? I'm so sick of that notion. It's unfair. It's so unfair, and I think we'll get past it at some point, but I don't think it'll be in our lifetime.
I think it's changing. I
don't know.
No, I think it's changing. I think the mix between entrepreneurship, the WeWorks, the corporate lifestyle, the startup lifestyle, I think it's all coming because you see corporate companies trying to change their inner culture to attract more talent. We're attracting people with tattoos. We're wearing jeans Fridays.
Jeans Fridays is crazy.
Right. All that to say that, like, yes, Thomas, maybe not in our lifetime. Maybe by the time we're 70, 80, you might see, JP Morgan Chase employees wilding out with sleeves and all that stuff. Right. But I see the shift changing over time. And it depends on, of course, the industry, but it's happening.
People are making an attempt at it, right? The attempt is, hey, like in my company, they say, hey, be your true self. The CEO wears like these really different shoes. And she says, hey, I want you guys to see me in my, in my true self, right?
Yeah.
But I just, listen, I won't beat a dead horse here.
Yo, but the chief marketing officer for Uber, Bozoma St. John, she's got locks.
Is she still there?
Yeah.
Didn't she leave?
No, I don't think she left.
Nah.
I think she's still there.
Yeah. There was something that she did recently that was, or maybe she just got there. Is that it?
She just got there.
She got there after the whole Uber
diversity.
Yeah.
Shout out to her, by the way.
Yeah, big shout out to her, man. I'm really excited about her and what she's doing.
Yeah, man.
But I look for people like her to break ground for people like me.
But you know her name, right?
Yeah.
That's wrong. Like, you shouldn't have to, like, no, she shouldn't be so singled out and so rare. It should just be another day in the office, another person that's successful. It's such a rarity that you, like, are amazed by it and you look to her as inspiration when you can't, like, look next to you.
Yeah. Even in my past work history, coming from a place that did have some diversity at the top, even though it was very slim, I didn't see anyone that looked like I.
Right.
It was the button-up suit and tie. head nod.
I think I had a little taste of it when I was at New Me. Because I had a little taste of like working with everyone that was like me and had like similar.
Yeah, but that was a startup, man.
But even then, it's just work, right? Having an opportunity to work with people that had the same frame of mind that I had, I got a little taste of it for like 2 years, and it's like, man, it can exist. This can actually be a thing.
Right. Well, maybe it's our generation that's now stepping into leadership roles. It's our job to be that forefront.
Just like your juice shop.
Just like my juice shop?
Yeah.
Definitely. Just like your locks, you about to grow out.
Yeah.
It's going to take me like 6 years.
Hey, we setting the groundwork
we out here
for everyone else.
Actually, in 6 years, you might not need to worry about it. If your juice is popping like that.
My juice is going to be popping.
Yo, can we address all of these comments that people have been making over this last episode? Can we talk about it? Do we have time for that?
Yeah.
What were some of the comments? Let's.
We should go around the table. Go for it, Chad.
Nah, go ahead, Thomas. You start.
I mean, I'll start with the numerous pauses. People saying we got to stop saying pause. I agree. And there's been several things that I could have said pause to in this conversation.
I know, and I was intentionally saying them just to see if you was going to say pause.
Like what?
Every time I said beef.
I was itching. But you know what? I have an understanding that it can be offensive, and I made a pact to you guys that I'm not going to completely eliminate it because that's not me being my true self. But I'll be cognizant of it.
Yeah, as long as you're aware of it.
When Ryan says things about straws and tips, like I will be cognizant of this.
What other feedback have you heard?
I heard that there were a couple of single men in the room, and then there were two married. Two married were fine, but I heard something about maybe some arrogance coming from the single man and the single side, and I also think about perception and how you perceive those comments and whether they're personal. If they're personal, I think that's something that you got to separate. You got to understand that there's two different sides to every story, right? And separating personal issues is something that I think people should do. Listen objectively. And that's something that, I can't expect all listeners to do, but we all appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, I think the feedback I heard was around accountability. We talked about reciprocity and how, we want the attention, but we never talked about accountability for being men in that situation.
What does that even mean?
Oh, Thomas made the ugly face.
I like it.
What does it mean to be accountable for being a man? I was born this way. How can I be accountable for being a man?
Back.
Yeah, so basically, like, what are you doing in order to get that reciprocity?
Listen, man, I'm sick of these people. I can't take it. Listen, if y'all don't want to listen to us, go ahead. On yourself, old school. I don't have no time for that. I don't have no time. Listen, everyone's going to have an opinion,
but
and
honestly,
I'm all for it, but be constructive.
So I don't think it was addressed to the married men in the room. I think it was
because I ride for the women out here. Y'all are stupid.
It was addressed to the single men. Like, what are you doing in order to get the reciprocity?
What are you doing? Because you're probably single too. That's the other question. Like the one that asked the question. And listen, if I know you and you asked the question, sorry, I didn't know that you asked the question. Just letting you know.
So Brian, you wanna address that?
Yeah, I can address that. I mean,
so what are you doing?
I don't think it was directed at me, but I shouldn't have to list out what I'm doing. What I'm doing.
80-25 is directed at 80-25.
I would never have to list out what I'm doing because what I'm doing should be enough and should be accepted by the person that I choose to date or choose. Let me take that back. Chooses to date me.
All right.
I'll be equal with it. But
Brian made an ugly face too.
That wasn't an ugly face.
Nah, that wasn't.
He's like, and what? Yo, and then they tried to come for us, Thomas.
About what?
Because we didn't stand up for women.
I stand up every day of my life for women.
I was told that we didn't stand up for women in that discussion.
Listen, I can't.
How? What you mean? What happened?
Because like we should have we should have stood tall in terms of
married men,
our experiences as married men, and coaching y'all on being accountable because we are married.
Got it.
I'm no different. I'm just like like monogamous. like
that's it. Like no, it's not it.
I mean, I'm just making it really, really simple. But I'm not coaching nobody, right? Like these are grown men making decisions, figuring things out the way I figured things out, right? Like if there's questions, we can ask questions and help, right? Because like when Chad got married, I asked him a lot of questions. When other friends got married, I asked them questions and kind of helped me. But I'm not about to just sit here and like coach people through things they don't want to be coached to. We want to be out here and just sling mad all through the streets.
Is accountable just a PC term for checking somebody when you think they're wrong?
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
because that's what I'm hearing. Not Castro, saying holding everybody accountable, but if you think something's wrong, then you should check them. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, basically.
And so basically,
I'm with that.
The feedback was that maybe some things that were said were wrong, and
I was supposed to check.
You were supposed to check that. Okay,
yeah.
I got it. I got it.
I mean, for me, I'm like, yo, y'all single. You make those decisions on your own.
I mean, but here's the thing: like, if I'm wild and fraudulent out here, I'm gonna definitely need y'all to check me.
I'll check you if you're offensive or if you're hurting yourself. If you're hurting yourself or someone else, I'll check you.
And so to that person's feedback, I actually agree. Like, yo, hold me down. Let me know when I'm being a clown, because y'all out here with the icy rings. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm trying to be one day.
Nah, but you're not. The only thing that we addressed was your perception on social media.
Oh yeah, that was it.
We talked about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're single. It's so funny because if you look at our Abstract Square podcast Instagram, you'll see there's a picture of Brian in it. And someone actually commented and said, oh my gosh, Brian, there's a picture of you on social media.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Someone said that.
Oh,
because there's no pictures of you on your social media.
Hey, yo, if I could put a little bubble on top of Ryan's head right now, I just see him thinking about the DM he about to send.
And ain't no DMs being sent. Ain't no DMs being sent. But it proves a fact, right? Like, yeah, I don't even know.
I think, this is my opinion, but I do think you need to curate your social media to include you, because there's a part of your brand that people want to see.
So why don't you? On the spot.
Why I don't is because I really think it's about the focus on the art. Like, for me personally, as a dude on social media, having selfies, doing things of myself, I perceive that as being narcissistic. It's not about me, it's about the art.
It is, but I think your art is part of your brand. Yeah. So if you're not showing who you are, people can't really connect. You're just another social media page with great pictures.
So here's a good example, right? So we have two artists that played that game when they first came out, right? The Weeknd did that, and so did her, right? They pretty much stayed behind their art and just let their art stand for themselves. Mm-hmm. We appreciated their art a lot more when they were behind the scenes, but guess what? Once they did that for a little while, we was ready to see who they were.
Yeah.
And we like them even more now. Weeknd's a big artist, and he way with when he was like doing the mixtapes and things like that.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, and I don't disagree with you, but
like, we still don't really connect with Bryson Tiller.
No, we don't.
Why not?
Because we don't know him.
We don't know him.
We know him. We got videos. You see pictures.
We connected with one album, bro.
Yeah.
He ain't been back in better in a long time.
1.5, because that second album was trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my point.
That's the point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's
cool.
All right, so let's take your pictures out of the equation, right? Could you imagine if all I posted was sneakers? Would you really get to know who Chad is?
Nah.
Like, all my pictures are just a sneaker every time. Every time I purchase a sneaker, I take a picture of it, and that's all my pages.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's an excuse, because I grew up the same way.
Yeah,
I grew up staying away from a camera, and I never did any crime, but it's just the way we grew up. We stayed below the radar.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's me. Like, I like to be private. You know what I'm saying? And those things aren't, like, if I'm not comfortable sharing my move or taking pictures of where I'm at or doing all that stuff, I'm not going to do it.
So let's have a challenge.
Because it's gonna be no. Because it's gonna be fake. Because it's gonna be fake.
It's a challenge. Can I challenge you?
Listeners, do you want to see Brian change up his Instagram a little bit?
So this is my thing.
We're not doing that.
So let me make one challenge. I'll do it with you.
No, we're not doing that.
Because I'm the same way. I'm the same. I won't post.
I mean, here's the thing. There's aesthetic. There's art, and
challenge your art.
All right, I'll try it.
Yeah.
So let's do it. What, 2-3 times a week?
Nah, we're not doing that much. No, we don't. We ain't doing that much.
Well, once a week.
Well, challenge me, and I'll challenge you.
Can we get one this week?
Maybe once a month.
Nah, come on, man. That's not how the game is played, Brian.
If I'm not comfortable with it, I'm not doing it.
Yo, I think you need to step outside your comfort zone.
Right. So being uncomfortable is an indication that you should do it.
Right. Because there's
being
no harm
uncomfortable is putting me in a place where it's going to be fake, and I'm feeling forced. You know, nobody wants to feel forced.
Being forced, no one wants to feel forced. So once you're forced, you leap into a whole different like place.
Yeah. I mean, I did it before. It's not like I don't
want to be talking on this podcast. I don't want nobody to hear my voice. You know what? Every time we do this, I don't want to hear myself. But
there
the
is
idea is I need to do it.
And listening to your voice. You have to do it, man.
Just push this. I'm not gonna say that you're wrong for what you're doing right now. What I'm saying is take the challenge and see how it feels. And if it's whack, then just don't do it again.
Or archive the pictures and delete them.
Yeah, I mean, I have certain thoughts about.
Are you scared?
Yeah, if you scared,
I got certain thoughts. Ain't nobody scared. I just feel like it's fucking corny.
Me too.
Like that's the part. That
but we all have friends that take pictures of themselves. Are you calling them corny?
Yes.
Y'all are mad corny.
Yes, yes. Fuck, I look like taking selfies and fucking doing all that other shit.
I'm not asking you to extend your arm for a picture.
So my challenge is, right, I think that is corny. That's my personal opinion. I think that men in selfies is trash. But what I do think is you're creative.
Yeah.
And I think that you can challenge your creative.
And I agree with that one. So if you're talking about
be creative,
I'll figure out a way and I'll work through it.
Start today.
Nah, because you got to figure it out. Let them figure it out.
Because I got to figure it out.
Let them figure it out. Let's start next week.
Let me do it in my own way.
Let's start next week.
No, we got to start today.
Can you relax for a second?
No, relax, coach.
I'm on the same page as you. I'll start next week. Let's just get it.
We could do it. I ain't got no problem with that.
Why start next week? What is it about next week that you can't start today?
Because I'm going to LA. I'm trying to style them.
These niggas have shit to do.
Yo,
I got priorities. I got other stuff to get out before I take a selfie myself.
Camera.
You are a photographer.
Right. Why the fuck do you need to start next week?
You know why it's corny? Because they're trash and you're not.
That's the thing. Here's the thing. It's about one, getting the shit that I have to do out. I don't have time to set up lights and do whatever I got to do.
No one does.
Yo, we're not asking you to set up a studio
you just want me to take a bum ass selfie and put it on fucking.
Yo, figure out a fucking way to curate this shit, just like you do in your life. Take a fucking picture on your bike.
Yo, that's why your name is Dope Boy, huh? Because you move around like a dope boy on the low out here. Me too, though. Me too, B. I'm the same way. I feel corny ever taking any picture, but guess what?
But I mean, I hear y'all, and I definitely think that it's for me to challenge my art and the way that it happens is just, my thoughts on dudes being on the camera dancing in fucking suits and all that shit. Like, it's not what it's for me.
Videos,
right, that's not what it's for me.
I'm on the same page.
But I don't view, and it's about my perception of social media and my, like, originally Instagram was an art gallery for me. It's for me to show off that you're walking into a gallery and you're seeing my view of the world, right?
Right.
That's how I always see it.
Guess what? It is that way for a lot of people. It's just not that way for, like, your timeline right now.
Yeah, and I don't feel like I should be forced to change just because everybody else is doing it.
All right, so do you want people to view your art gallery?
Yeah, but I don't want them to. They don't have to view me, view my lens, view what I see.
Yeah, but when you walk in an art gallery, aren't you interested in the person who's running that art gallery? Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
So I would say that
my point. You want to know who the artist is.
Listen. Yeah, I want to know that this is a black woman or a black man,
okay,
or someone that's younger or older. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not trying to see a million pictures of this person. All I need is one snapshot to understand.
But what if they did it in a dope way?
Then
what if every middle picture was of you?
Nah, that's too much.
It's way too much, man. You do too much.
The point that I'm with Brian on this one. If you can just figure out a way to put yourself out there one little unit more.
I'm with it though.
Let's just try it out. Let's start. Let's take baby steps. Chad want to be every 5 photos is B. I ain't with that either. Because then
fam.
That's narcissistic. I agree.
I'm not with that. But I will challenge. I will listen to y'all. I'm looking y'all dead in the eye, and I will definitely challenge my way to do it in my own way.
I'm excited to see the way B does it because it's gonna be differentiated. So
what about you?
I'm scared. Right?
Yo, but just,
I don't like to be out there, and every time I post a picture, people start to ask me where I am and want to hang out, and I don't really like all of that. I like to stay below the radar, but guess what? I'm with B.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. And it's not about. I definitely don't think it's about being scared. I mean,
let's have like some
time to think about how you want to curate a picture.
Yo, that's the problem with these streets these days. They're not thoughtful.
Gosh,
they just do things haphazardly.
All right, man.
Think about it.
Yo, man. You take your own selfies, yo.
Go ahead, fam.
Yo, I took one selfie on the golf course and I put it on my Instagram.
I don't even like that word.
Exactly.
I did. I always got to show them on the golf course.
But why is that?
Because I'm doing something different.
No, you're not.
And I'm trying to promote black people playing golf.
Oh, okay, cool.
But who told you that's different?
Because we were the only black people playing golf.
I guess it makes it different.
Oh, that makes it different. I guess.
Yeah. So, any other feedback that you heard? Yo, we spent a lot of time on that, but that was big. That was a big discussion.
The good thing is we added a new challenge. So, like, I challenged B. We should go back to the challenge. We missed out on that because people couldn't add fractions and percentages.
Or they just leaving people out.
Do y'all have a challenge for me?
Stop taking selfies on the golf course.
Nah, I challenge you to help Brian.
No. He's not gonna help me. No.
I look like his art director.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Good. No. So to the point, I'm not holding nobody accountable for nothing. Y'all do your thing out here because I'm good. I'm not helping none of y'all. You want to rap?
Yeah, let's wrap. Yeah, I want to get the fuck up out of here.
Do you want to get home?
Yeah.
See baby girl?
Yeah.
I hear you.
Eat my Beyond Meat burger.
I hear you on that.
He's really see the challenge. Mm-hmm. The challenge for me to be more cognizant of.
What's with this 20-pound challenge? Let's stop real quick.
Oh, I'm already on it.
Stakes is too low for me, kid. We got to go up on that dollar amount. I won't care about that dollar amount you told me.
What, $100?
I specifically didn't say a number. I don't care about losing $100. I'll edit that out.
Nah, come on, you gotta keep that.
It's $100. Let's go to 1,000. I won't lose. I'll tell you that.
Yes, you will.
I ain't losing a stack.
Yo, I'm not losing a stack.
I will smoke crack for a losing stack.
Tommy. He not doing that.
Yo, does anyone else want to do the 20-pound challenge?
I think that's what we're looking for. I want some engagement. I want people. So let's back this up. Chad came to us the other day and said, hey, I've been trying to lose 20 pounds just to be healthier, just to get better in life. Like, do y'all want to do this with me? What's up? And I said, yeah, I'm in. And he said, who else want to do it? The chat room got kind of quiet.
Oh, I wasn't in that chat. It's another chat. Y'all got new chats without me?
Yeah. Don't front like you don't have side chats.
You said side chats or side chats?
Yo, he's coming for you.
Yeah.
He coming for you. He coming for you. But yo, I mean, this is a challenge to our listeners. Look, it's going to start on August 15th.
We talking about health, right?
Oh, that's perfect. I'm in.
It's going to start on August 15th.
After your fucking birthday.
Drake voice.
And we're gonna put in a pot. That pot grows as more people come in, but we're gonna have some rules around this.
Can we go to 250?
No, it depends on how many people.
Yeah.
It depends on how many people. So
actually,
can we go to 250?
The more people, the less it should be because the bigger the pot. Everybody can't spend $100, $250 to fucking lose 20 pounds, man. That's unfair, Thomas. Stop being a elitist.
I knew you were about to call me an elitist. What I was is making it a little bit more uncomfortable for myself is what I was trying to do.
Yeah, you should be uncomfortable, period. Because you don't have no pictures on your Instagram.
I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, not enough. I'm being challenged. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, because if you look at the picture on Abstract Square Podcast, that's the only one.
Yeah, we got to fix my icon, too, because my hairline's back, baby.
Yeah.
So, Brian, back to the challenge. This is important. I want to make sure that people hear this challenge. But August 15th, I want you to chime in on Abstract Square Podcast, Instagram or Facebook, because we got the Facebook Live. So, let's talk about you entering this challenge. I want everyone to join and push for 20 pounds.
Hold each other accountable.
Yep. Male, female, woman, man, whatever you want to call
all in between
yourself.
Everything.
Whatever you want to call yourself. Let's do this challenge.
Let's get it.
Yo, I like it. I think that's the way we wrap it up, man.
Yo,
thank y'all for listening.
Episode 15. Yo, really quick, I also want y'all to...
Come on, yo. How you going really quick? We said twice we was leaving.
Yeah. It's like church, right? I need y'all to listen.
Hot in this goddamn studio, bro.
Listen, rate, and review. Like us on Facebook. Add us on Instagram. It would be phenomenal if you could go tell your friends and your family what we're doing. We really believe in this podcast. That's it.
Yo, let's sweeten the deal. We give out that thing.
We got a Galaxy Tab S3.
Oh,
sitting here waiting.
Add that to the challenge.
All right, yo, Galaxy Tab on deck. If you win, whoever gets the 20 pounds first.
But if you're not a subscriber, like it's quiet if you're getting that.
Yeah, and yo, in order to enter the challenge, you have to subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Google Play.
Can you just say holla so we can get out of here?
Out.